So, hey, good morning. Pastor John here. Hey, it's Friday morning and I'm just getting ready to go to work. It's a beautiful day. I thought I'd bring you along on the ride. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I thought I'd get that ride in today. Here's a little bit of light reading here, John Wesley's sermons. Well, I'm just about ready, so I'll see you on the road here in just a minute. So, I was thinking last night and this morning as we were talking on Sunday about Easter coming. But you know, Christmas is such a fun time of year. Growing up in the church, we really celebrated, in the tradition I grew up in, we celebrated Christmas and Easter, but we didn't really celebrate the seasons of the Christian year besides that. And one of the things I've really come to appreciate in the Methodist Church is that we celebrate the whole Christmas or the Christian year, and to me that really keeps us, you know, there's a rhythm to that. It falls right after Thanksgiving typically, but the beginning of Advent, that's the beginning of the Christian year. As we look toward Christmas, it's that celebration of looking toward the Christmas season, anticipating, preparing our minds and thoughts. I suppose, like a lot of people, we've gotten in our family to where we do a lot of our Christmas shopping by list. Everybody gives you some ideas, and then you go find those items on the list to satisfy them. And that sure solves a lot of the problem of wondering, gee, are they really going to like this present? But now that we've got 6 grandkids, and they were all down last Christmas, which was so much fun. 6 kids in the house, laughing and yelling and playing and roughhousing, and yeah, it was a little noisy, but it was fun. Anyway, sometimes I feel like when I'm telling stories like this, I'm kind of like the guy, oh, squirrel, go down another different road. Christmas is a fun time of year, but we're so distracted, I think, with thinking about all the gifts and parties and everything else that happen that sometimes we lose track of the birth story. But that's really significant when it comes to the Easter season. And for me, Easter is really, that's the highlight of the Christian year for me. I like Christmas. I love it. It's fun. All the colors and lights and parties and gifts and getting together with family. But Easter is really the heart of who we are as a people of faith. We're an Easter people. And our faith is all about the resurrection of Jesus. This hope that God can overcome even death on a cross. So, Easter season begins with a period we call Lent. And that starts, well, it really starts Tuesday. Oh, hey, Tuesday morning, we've got pancake breakfast, yeah, 7 to noon with all-you-can-eat pancakes and sausage cooked by the men of the church. $6. How can you go wrong? And so that's Tuesday morning. Shrove Tuesday, or Fat Tuesday, because after that you've got the fasting season of Lent, or at least people used to fast. Fasting is really good, or abstinence. It's one of the spiritual disciplines I mentioned last Sunday. But so that's Tuesday. On Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. So what the heck is Ash Wednesday all about? You know, we see people running around in some quarters with ashes. I used to think, gee, only Catholics do that. And I've come to appreciate Ash Wednesday. Did you read the news this morning? Watch the news? I know some of you are news junkies, and you can't get away from the politics, but I've got to. Every time I look at the news, I get discouraged. And one thing I've noticed throughout politics, throughout the way people treat each other, and all the other things that happen that we see on the news, one thing we really need is a lot more humility. Wouldn't you agree? We just need a lot more humility, and to me, that's a lot of what Ash Wednesday is about, is taking time to be humble, to humble ourselves. And sure, we spend a little time thinking about our sin in the world and where we failed people, where we made mistakes, and wondering how can we do better? How can we be a better people? But I think too, part of that is simply realizing that God is so much greater than we are, and we are His people. So that little smudge of ash put on your forehead, reminding us that we came from ashes, and to ashes will return, to dust once more. Our physical bodies will go, but not our spirits, not our soul, until the day of resurrection. And so as we leave Ash Wednesday, it's a good time of reflection that begins a season of reflection, and I think too, wonderment, wondering why God would do that for us. Why does He care so much? Except that He just loves us that much. Traveling down El Mirage Road now. I like this route getting from our neighborhood down to the church because it's a lot fewer traffic lights than coming other routes. And it's a little cloudy today and a little hazy off in the distance. I think we're supposed to get a lot of rain tomorrow. Maybe it'll wash away and clear the air a little bit. And that's really partly what this season of Lent is about, is allowing God to cleanse us, to free us, and renew us, just like the rain does in the air and the ground and washes away the dirt. So what do you have this year to get rid of and unload? What is it you want to cast off this year as we grow closer to Easter? So I'm going to shut the video off here for a few minutes. So don't forget, Tuesday morning, a pancake breakfast cooked by the men starting at 7. Bring a friend, bring somebody with you. You can show them how great your church family is, how they hang on to each other and encourage one another. Oh, look at that, bunch of bicycle riders. there's a group out of Trilogy, and this might be them, that ride almost every day. And they come out and ride quite a few miles, about at least 3 or 4 times a week I see them. All right, I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. It's 70 degrees, 73 degrees this morning. And I was wondering why my hands were getting hot, and then I realized I still had the hand warmers turned on. Get electric hand warmers on the motorcycle, which are wonderful in the cool weather. Keep my fingers nice and toasty. So let's see, we were talking about Ash Wednesday. Oh yeah, and so Ash Wednesday, here's your opportunity. We do a luncheon every Wednesday. Starts about 11:30 and gets over about 12:15 or so. And you have to call in for reservations, make sure we have enough food for everybody, but you're invited to come for lunch on Ash Wednesday. And then immediately after lunch, we'll be having a short Ash Wednesday worship and imposing ashes, or putting ashes on everybody who wants. And so you're invited to be a part of that. If you don't want to come for lunch, you can show up at about 12:15 and we'll be getting started about that time. So Ash Wednesday, after we finish that time of worship, we'll be going about the rest of our day with ashes. And somebody may ask you, what are those about? And it's a good opportunity to say, well, I'm getting ready for Easter, and I need to remember that I don't always do the best in the world, and I want to do better. And I know I can't do it by myself, so I want to make sure that I do it with Christ in my life. And so the ashes help me remember that it's not about me. So that's Ash Wednesday. So pancakes on Tuesday and ashes on Wednesday, after lunch. And I want to invite you into a season of maybe some contemplation, a little additional prayer. I don't know if you can hear those. We've got some F-35s from Luke flying overhead here, making a lot of noise, and wonderful to hear those jets flying over. Good opportunity to pray for our pilots and the support crews, and that they never have to fly into war, that they can serve as a deterrent to violence. So a season of contemplation and prayer, and maybe a little fasting. And during that time of fasting is a good time to pray and read your Bible, and maybe even just rest in God's presence and listen for Him to talk to you. When was the last time God nudged you a little bit and said you need to spend some time with Him? The other thing I wanted to mention today is we have something new that started in January, and that's our divorce care. If you've, it's not just for divorces. If you've had a relationship that has ended recently, or and it doesn't have to be a marriage type relationship. It can just be a deep friendship that has broken apart, that is causing you grief and disappointment and sadness. You're invited to be a part of that group. We have room. The class runs in a cycle of lessons, but each lesson stands on its own, so you don't have to start at the beginning. You can come and join in any time. So if you or someone who's been through a broken relationship or is struggling, even if it's been years, encourage them to be a part of that. You could even bring them and that first time and just be there with them. That'd be great too. The other group I want to mention is our grief share group. As we go through life, we sometimes lose those who are closest to us, and members of our family, our spouse, best friends. And you don't have to go that road of grief alone. There are ways to cope with it and to come out on top of that grief. Grief is always with us. Those scars remain, but you can learn ways to cope with that and to reclaim some joy in your life and get back into life sometimes. Well, look at that. There's a great church over here. I think I'll go over and check it out. Oh yeah, there's on our sign I see the cancer support group. There's another support group, and boy, that C word is so scary. Be a part of that. I don't think there's a family that's not been touched by cancer, is there? Okay. Let's see here, we'll pull in. Those of you who were part of it, I really appreciate this covered parking that we get to enjoy during the week and for our staff. That's an incredible gift for our staff in the summertime, so thank you for that. Well, here we are, and back at Lakeview, so thanks for coming on a ride with me, and I'm gonna, if the weather's cooperative, tomorrow I'm gonna be going down to the new habitat build, and I'll take you along on that ride too. God bless, have a great day.